talk about it.
Yes.
It affects half the population, but it's still something that people don't talk about. There's misinformation out there, leaving many people who are experiencing it without a solid understanding of what's actually happening with their own bodies. So we are busting out some myths.
Yes.
Busting out, busting down some myths. How
Yes.
about that? Nishta Saxena is joining us in studio.
Yeah.
This is such an important topic.
It really is.
Yeah, I know with my groups of friends, we're starting to have these conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And trying to figure out what is what. So let's do it. Let's start with the first myth,
Yes.
okay? Myth number one, you don't need to worry about menopause until you're in your 50s.
Yeah, not true. So the process of perimenopause can actually begin 10 to 15 years before that. So we're talking in your mid-30s. And it doesn't mean that you need to start thinking about the symptoms then, but the point is that doing and building health behaviors in your 20s and 30s will actually go a long way to help reducing what's going to happen to you during your menopausal years. So weight training during your 20s and 30s can actually help with retaining lean muscle, bone density, delaying brain shrinkage that occurs during these menopausal years. So it's really important to get those habits started early because it's actually a very long process.
That's good to know. Okay, so hot flashes, we talk symptoms, hot flashes, mood swings, brain fog. Myth number two, suffering through these symptoms is basically a rite of passage, right?
Yeah, no, that's just not acceptable. We're not going to be telling women, half the population of the world, that they just need to suffer. In fact, there's more research now than ever in this area, and there's a lot that we know that can happen that can help with these symptoms. The thing you have to think about is it's multiple things you're going to have to use together. Emotional support, sleep, it may be complementary alternative therapies, as well as working with your primary care provider. All of these things together are going to help ease symptoms. In fact, one of the most important things is that emotional support piece. Women that had group support, whether it was professionals, communities, friends, during this phase of life actually had a reduction in symptoms they experienced.
Oh, that's good to know. So there is solutions out there are solutions out there. Myth number three, menopause decreases your appetite.
Yeah, this is very unfair. It actually increases your appetite.
Oh, really?
It really does. It's kind of the interplay between the excess estrogen and insulin and our regulatory hormones. You may actually find yourself feeling even hungrier.
Great.
And so, so there's two tips that I want you to work on that are really specifically targeting appetite.
Okay.
One, if you're not sleeping well, you have to take a look at that and prioritize figuring that out with your healthcare provider. You need at least 7 to 9, even up to 10 hours of sleep, because if you're not getting
10 hours?
You could, yes.
Do you know how many hours I had last night? 4 hours and 15 minutes.
I know.
It's
I feel
not
like
good.
I know. Well, I think, as you progress,
work on that.
You got to work on that.
Okay.
And then the other thing is protein. So women are not getting enough protein, and our guidelines aren't really giving us the adequate protein we need. 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram body weight. So maybe even starting with 20 grams at each meal, that protein is really going to help with suppressing appetite.
Okay, myth number 4, Nishta, tracking calories is important and it's necessary.
This is totally untrue. So there's no science that tracking calories in this age is actually going to benefit you in any way. And in fact, it can actually increase really feelings of negativity, your food-body relationship. It can kind of make things worse. Most women actually in this age category are not eating enough calories. So if you focus on getting 3 balanced meals a day, that Mediterranean diet plan works really well during this phase of life. Lentils, beans, peas, whole fruits, vegetables, grains, lean meats, and fish. That's actually all you need. You really don't need to work on tracking calories at all.
How do we know if we're in it? How do we know if we're in perimenopause?
Well, I mean, there's a few different things that would happen. You can definitely check with your primary care provider. There's definitely medical testing that can be done to take a look at that. But if you're experiencing symptoms, these are things that you want to start looking at and working on at that time.
We really appreciate you coming in and busting out those myths. Busting out. I'm saying busting out again. Maybe I want to bust out of here. We do have to do that, Nishta. Thanks for joining us in studio.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.